What's up, guys? Chief here with another video where we learn how to play Starcraft 2. Starcraft 2 today, guys. What's going on? Today, we are going to talk about Protoss. Weird, right? No, we're going to talk about Protoss, and we're going to take kind of a perspective like we did earlier in the week with different Zerg matchups, but we're going to talk about Protoss matchups now. And today, we're going to talk about Protoss versus Zerg, popular ways to deal with Zerg as Protoss. Pretty cool stuff. A lot of cool builds, a lot of cool openings you can do with Protoss against Zerg that are designed to punish greedy players that don't scout you well. So if you're fighting a Zerg and you're maybe in, let's say, silver or gold, you know, players generally are not the greatest at scouting in those leagues, or bronze, but these builds, these kind of openings will just crush them. It'll be sweet. So let's go in. I've made a little bit of a demonstration game. Watch solo. Oh, sexual. Here we go. Loading. Okay, so what is there to talk about in Protoss versus Zerg? Well, what we know is that the Zerg player is likely going to try to expand, and he's likely going to do that around 14-15 supply, and he's going to have a spawning pool and a hatchery going up around the same time, right? Those are his first two major purchases in most games. The Zerg player will go hatch into pool, pool into hatch, something like that around that time, around 14-15 supply, right? We know that. We have this knowledge. So a great way to punish a Zerg that goes for a fast expand like that as Protoss is with cannons. Early cannons, it's not really a cannon rush. Not so much, but I mean, I guess it is, but it's not something that you're committing to full force. It's more of something that you're using as an early harassment tool to punish the Zerg. So the idea is you use your cannons to stop them or delay them from mining at their natural expansion, slow down their production, maybe force them to make a lot of spine crawlers, and you're slowing down their economy. That's the whole point of cannon rushing. You're not trying to kill them. It probably won't work, right? You can't even build cannons most of the time in range of their mineral lines on their main because of the way the creep spread goes. You can't get your cannons there. So if you're trying to kill somebody with cannons, kill a Zerg, it's likely not going to work. So just think about it as this kind of a mindset where you are you're slowing them down. Bring it back. Slow it down. Slow it down. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're getting a nice lockdown on that Zerg economy. Boop. Back into the game. So how are we going to do that? What we're going to do is we're going to get a forge first. Forge first. Forge first. Don't call me a liar. Here it goes. Boom. Forge. Lovely. Lovely. Now what we're doing is we're making that forge and we're sending our probe out over to our Zerg. Lovely Zerg over across the map. And as we see, we arrive in his base right about the time, there it is, right about that time he throws that expansion down. And then he's likely going to go for the pool afterwards. Oh, he was scouting 4 cannons. I'm going to back up. That's kind of cool. I didn't catch that before. So he knows. He's had this done to him before. Oh, man. I didn't even rewind far enough. Failure. Okay. Let's see this. He's scouting. He is paranoid. Look at this. Cannon. Pylon. And I snuck in right there. That's funny. He sees it anyway. Now, we're just doing basic cannoneering maneuvers, right? Nothing fancy about the way I'm cannon rushing here. You don't need to really think too hard. Just build some pylons, build some cannons. Try to get them in range of this natural, get them maybe in range of the main if possible, or where they're going to reinforce from to get to their natural. So what's the proper response from a Zerg? Let's talk about that for a second. If a Zerg does this and attacks your cannons, that is A-okay with you. That is great. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, maybe. 1 thumbs up. It's okay when they do that. And the reason is because you can just freaking cancel them. Watch this. He's attacking. We don't even care. We don't even care because we just cancel it. We get most of our resources back. And even there, he lost a couple drones to that because we already had a cannon back here. So good. 1 thumbs up. That's what we feel about that. So he's wasting time mining. We're slowing down his economy. That's our whole goal. It's our whole goal. Now, what's the proper response for a Zerg to do here? The proper response is to not panic, ignore the cannons, don't attack them. Do not waste time. Just build a couple spines. Wait for your pool. Build like 3 or 4 spines, 2, 3, 4, something, whatever the amount you need. Back away, out of range of the cannons. When they're done, you uproot them, move them over, root them all at the same time, and they will massively screw up the cannons. Okay, same thing over here. You could maybe build 2 or 3 down here, uproot them, put them over here, kill off those cannons. The whole time they're, shooting this, that's okay. They're shooting this hatchery. That's what the proper response for a Zerg would be. Okay, we know that now. So there's a couple different ways to transition from here. And now you're not building too many cannons. Okay, that's the important thing to notice. I even went a little overboard. But, I mean, that's just great. You saw how many drones he just threw at that. And the idea here is we're forcing him to waste his drones on spines. We're forcing him to waste time mining. And we're forcing him to over-respond. While we're pretty much okay back at home doing whatever the hell we want, right? And we're not in much pressure. Now, the way the Zerg can transition from here, let's talk about that. Get in their head. Get inside the Zerg's mind. The hive mind. They're either going to do a couple things. They're going to try to take another base somewhere else on the map, which is probably the more common thing. Or they're going to be like, you son of a bitch cannon rushing me. I'm going to go attack you with Zerglings because I'm a Zerg. And that's what we do. So he's going to make like a bunch of Zerglings and just send them to your base. And if you don't have any defense there, you're dead, basically. I mean, if you don't have a wall, you don't have some cannons, you're going to die if he keeps sending Zerglings at you. So those are the 2 responses that you want to think about and deal with and prepare for. So back at home, back into the replay, we're just going to do things like build a cannon or 2. Build a cannon or 2. Okay, here's a cannon at the front, cannon in the middle line. Lovely. To defend in case he sends the lings. In case he sends the lings. Okay? Oh, I went a little too far. Now, we've prepared for the lings if he sends the lings at us. Now, in case he tries to take the other situation, would be he tries to take the other base, we're going to put some pylons at the other expansion, just to be a dick. So here's a pylon, and you can see he's coming out and wanting to deal with that because he does want to take that base. He does want to take that. And now we've also got pylons. If we go whoop-de-doo-de-doo over here, we've got a pylon at this base, a pylon over here, and we're also going to put another pylon for good measure at the next base that he could possibly take. So we know he is on 2 bases. 2 bases right now. He can't take this one yet. He's going to have to deal with the cannons first. The Zerg is on 2 bases. Now, that's perfect. That's what we want to know. You can try to maybe do some more cannoneering here to slow it down. But likely the time for cannons has passed. The time for cannons has passed. You need to transition. So, back at home, we're taking our expansion a little late. It doesn't really matter when you take this. Do it when you can afford it. However many cannons you need on the Zerg is going to change the timing of this expansion. You're going for your gateway. You're going for your cyber core. You're getting your warp gate. And now there's a couple ways to move into the mid game from here as Protoss. Now, the couple ways would be as Stargate play, and this is a lot more popular way back in the day. In Wings of Liberty, you do a Forge expand build and do like a Stargate and do a Phoenix harass. Okay. Nowadays, you can include oracles in that. You can add in a mothership core, and since the Zerg is so far behind, those air units really they only have queens, and if they want to build spores, likely they're not going to build spores because they're not they don't want to sacrifice their drones. Okay, so the Zerg at this point in the game is making a bunch of drones. He's going, no, no, my economy, guy, you screwed up my economy. He's making a crap ton of drones, trying to get his economy back up. So these kind of different attack windows are really strong to use against him. So what I would suggest is either a gateway timing, maybe like a +1 gateway attack, or just build some gateways, get them into warp gates. As soon as your warp gate research finishes, just like attack them. Don't need to worry about the timing, or you go the Stargate play. So let's talk about why we would want to do each one of those. So again, back to a little bit earlier, if we're thinking about where I said, okay, he needs to build spines here, and then move them and root them and kill the cannons, okay? If he does that, if he builds a bunch of spines, what don't you want to do? You don't want to follow up with gateway units, right? Because spines can kill gateway units pretty damn well, okay? You get a bunch of zealots, they can take down spines pretty well, maybe an immortal or something, but for the most part, spines, he's invested in defense against ground. Pretty simple concept, right? So we probably want to go for that Oracle harass, that Phoenix harass, that Stargate play. That would be our likely choice. But now, since in this game, I saw that he didn't build those spines to defend. I know that I have a window where I can do a gateway attack that'll be pretty strong. Very simple thought process, very simple decision making, and that's what we're going to use in this game. So we're going to go back at home, throw down some gateways, get our +1 attack going. Lovely. I love this. I love this timing. About the time our warp gate finishes, we get our gateways out, turn them into warp gates. We're going to have +1, and we can make a nice strong attack, because as we know, with +1 attack, Zealots will kill Zerglings in 2 hits instead of 3. So good. +1 attack is so good against Zerg. I lost my train of thought. +1 attack is so good against Zerg. Yada, yada, yada. Well, okay, let's just kind of ignore that and move on. We've established our second base. Great, great. We're on 2 bases versus a 2-base Zerg. That is a very good position to be as Protoss. This is kind of cute. He's throwing down a hatchery to delay our third, which is actually a pretty decent play, but not what I would suggest or want to be doing in his position right now. But that's kind of a nice play. I like that. Let's go see what he's doing. At this point in the game, again, the Zerg is going, crap, you killed my economy. I need to get that back up. He is making a lot of drones. A lot of drones. That's why this attack is going to be so strong. So we're going to move up. We're going to try to kill up overlords. We're going to try to kill the overlords. So he gets supply capped. Just slowing him down. Again, not necessarily a kill stroke. This attack is not necessarily a way to kill the Zerg. I find that against Zerg, as Protoss, you kind of do a lot of little strategic little jabby jab attacks. That was pretty cool. Jabby jab attacks. And just it's too much. It ends up being too much. All these little attacks and timings that you keep throwing at them, the cannons, then they just start recovering from that. Then you hit them with a gateway timing. They start recovering from that. Then you hit them with like a Colossi timing or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just too much. They can't ever recover fully enough. They can't ever feel comfortable in the game. You're trying to just get them off their footing. So let's finish up this game. We know that we're going to attack with gateway units. Here they go. Let's follow them. Stalker, stalker, stalker. Stalk, stalk, stalk. Stalking things, making some more. And we're pushing into their base. Don't need to talk a whole lot about like micro or targeting. We're just killing shit. And this doesn't look like that strong of a force, right? At 12 and a half minutes. It's not. But it's all we need. And even if we got killed off here, we would have done a ton of damage. A ton of damage. We would have forced the Zerg. Okay, and then he calls GG, so we ended up winning right there. But the idea is, you're forcing the Zerg, just like with the Cannon Rush, to make units and not drones, slowing down his economy. That's what we're trying to do. So that's really, let's look at that, 14:20, 14 minutes and 20 seconds, pretty good for that duration. I don't really want to talk about too much else, guys. Let's see, a little bit of a recap. We're trying to slow down the Zerg economy. Slow down the Zerg economy. A great way to do that is with cannons. You stop their natural expansion, slow it down if nothing else, force them to make spines, force them to waste their drones trying to kill, force them to make a bunch of zerglings. You're using their larvae on stuff other than drones that are going to be mining, basically, is what the goal is. Then you're transitioning, you're establishing your second base and doing either usually something like a Stargate transition or a gateway timing attack. And those two things are again designed to just be really annoying for the Zerg, not necessarily to kill them right there, but to do so much damage that it's just too much. There's too many drones dead. They've wasted too much larva, making defensive things like spines from their drones or spores to deal with your Stargate units, or they're making too many queens, and they just don't have enough to live. They can't ever get comfortable. You're trying to throw them off their balance and just keep them on the defensive for most of the game. You're going to do great. These are just different strategies that I like to use. If you guys have any other strategies that you like personally, let me know. I'll make a video on those too. We'll maybe explore those different things together. If you have any questions, comments, criticism, remarks on my videos, boom, drop them below, guys. Drop them below. Let me read them. I will go through each and every one because I love you guys so much. You mean so much to me. It's great. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate your support. I will see you next time. Have a great day, guys. Bye now.